So what do you mean you eat in a window? What kind of window? That kind of window? You have to eat your food while you're in a window? What does it mean? Well, I'm clearly trying to be funny here, but what I want to say is I have seriously been asked all of these questions since I started my intermittent fasting journey. So I want to share that journey with you today and describe what the window is, what intermittent fasting is, and what it means to me. So, what is intermittent fasting and what is the window? Well, intermittent fasting is a way of scheduling when you eat your food. The window is the amount of time that you eat your food in. I personally, right now, eat in a 6 hour window, but you can eat in a 4 hour window, an 8 hour window, a 12 hour window. I prefer six, it works in my schedule. I generally eat my first meal of the day at around noon hour, and I stop eating somewhere around 6 o'clock. So I usually eat a meal at noon and a snack later on in the day. That's what intermittent fasting and the window means to me. There are lots of fasting variations. You can do 24-hour fast one day, eat normally the next day, and continue that pattern on. You can do a 7-day fast and then just eat normally for the next however long you want to eat. But this is my schedule and this is how I prefer to eat. So, how to start intermittent fasting? Well, I'm an all-in kind of person, and when I started, I probably went with a 4 hour window, which, unless you're just eating once a day for half an hour, is about the smallest window you can go with. I did obviously change that to a 6 hour window over the years, but you can start anyway, and I would probably recommend that you start in a more gentle way than a 4 hour window. I personally would suggest a 12 hour window, and I would suggest that you start at about 6 or 7 p.m. and go through to 6 or 7 a.m. And there you have, you've done a 12-hour fast and you probably slept through most of it. Once you've gotten used to that, you can maybe add 2 hours in the morning, or you can eat a little earlier in the day before and just maybe add 2 hours there. Eat your breakfast at 8 o'clock, eat your dinner at 4 o'clock, and get to a place where you're comfortable. Get to a place that works for you, and then just see how it goes. Please bear with me while I read the disclaimer. I will preface what I have to say with the fact that I am not a medical doctor, I am not a nurse, I am not a naturopath, I'm not a dietitian, a nutritionist, any of these things. What I am is just a person sharing my experiences and what has worked for me in the health and wellness area. If you have any concerns or medical issues, please consult your doctor before you start on an intermittent fasting journey. Back to the video. The why of intermittent fasting. I began intermittent fasting at a time in my life when I was heavier than I had ever been. Now, in the whole scheme of things, I will be honest, I wasn't excessively heavy. I was just heavy for me. And I had tried other weight loss programs, none of which had really done anything for me. And I came across intermittent fasting. So I looked into it, did some research, and liked it. It looked good to me. It looked both impossible and highly doable all at the same time. So, me being me, I jumped right in. And as I said already, I probably began with a 4-hour window. I actually don't remember. What I do remember is the weight started to shift very quickly. And I think I lost the bulk of the weight probably in the first year, and I have maintained it ever since. And that was 7 years ago. So, what are the other benefits? The other significant benefits that I've seen from this? Clearly, I lost the weight. The other thing that I lost was that bloat. You know, that bloat, that heavy feeling in your stomach that seems to be persistently there. I noticed that it wasn't feeling as heavy, and the size was decreasing. And over probably a 2-year period, I suddenly realized that it was gone. That bloat had been with me since my mid-40s. I thought it was a permanent fixture, but it's gone, and it's been gone all these years. There are many, many reasons for eating this way, but I will outline 2 of them right now that I think probably come at the top of the list. The first one we've already talked about, which is the weight loss. I think it's a great weight loss tool and a weight maintenance tool that it's the one that I found that worked for me. The second part of this, and I don't always explain this well, so I'm going to do my best, is about what your body is doing when it's not processing food. When we're eating 3 meals a day with 3 snacks, our bodies never stop processing food. It's working all the time to deal with the food. When you're eating in a window, whether it's a 4, 6, 8 hour window, you're giving your body a break. And when it gets a break from processing food, it goes into repair and maintenance mode. It starts to clean up your cells and do other important work that needs to be done that it cannot do when we are eating food all day long. Our bodies are really smart. The body wants to feel good. We all want to feel good, and our bodies are prepared to work with us so that we do feel good. But when we keep eating, we're not giving the body the opportunity to do that. So yesterday I watched a great video, and it was kind of animated, but it gave a really good overview of what I've just talked about. So I'm going to link that in the description below because I think it's well worth a watch. The improvements I've seen is the weight loss. I think my brain works really well, and I don't know if that's down to intermittent fasting or just luck, but I have very few aches and pains, and my gut feels great. This is all anecdotal. There's nothing to say or prove that this is because I intermittent fast, but I personally put it down to intermittent fasting. I think intermittent fasting is one of the best healers that we can use. I've already said that I'm not a medical doctor, but I do want to say that if, as a senior, you have weight issues, if you are regularly tired and lethargic, you might consider intermittent fasting. Please don't just take my word for it. There are tons of videos out there about intermittent fasting. I have got a lot of the information that I use from Dr. Berg. He puts lots of shorts out, lots of short form videos like this about intermittent fasting and all sorts of other health issues and advice. I have found a couple of his videos that talk about fasting, and I've linked them in the description below. The other thing that I have done, I read a great book. It was a few years ago, and it is called The Obesity Code: Unlocking the Secrets of Weight Loss by Jason Fung. Um, I know it's called The Obesity Code, but really it's a great book to read for anybody. It talks a lot about intermittent fasting and obesity. So I have also put a link for that down in the description too. Now, this video wouldn't be complete without cons and drawbacks. I actually don't see many, but I'm going to just point out the ones that I'm seeing right now. I've already talked about the first one, which is if you have any medical issues at all, obesity, diabetic, heart issues, anything, you must consult your doctor before you start on this path of intermittent fasting. Again, I am going to say I personally think it can do nothing but good for you, but I'm not a doctor. So please consult your doctor. Second area is that this also involves doctors, but anyway, some doctors do believe that if you're intermittent fasting, you're not getting all the nutrients that you should. I personally believe that we probably don't get all the nutrients that we should anyway, because our diets are highly processed. We eat a lot of processed food, and that's probably more of a reason where you wouldn't get your nutrients than if you eat in an eating window and intermittent fasting. I personally eat all whole foods, most of the time. I eat whole foods, and I get the nutrients that I believe I get the nutrients that I need in the whole foods that I'm eating, even though I'm eating them in a smaller window. The last con, and it's probably more of a social issue than anything else, it's when the way that I eat is not convenient for other people. And my examples are if I go away for a weekend, if I go to one of my kids and spend the weekend, and they say to me, oh, we're going for breakfast, I will go for breakfast. If dinner doesn't happen to be on the table until 8 o'clock at night, I eat dinner at 8 o'clock at night. So I try to not let the way I eat rule my life. And so I would eat when they eat over the weekend. Once the weekend's over, I might do a 24-hour fast just to get kind of back in line, or I'll just get back to my intermittent fasting that I do all the time. So just be flexible. Allow yourself to be flexible. So, my name is Linda. I am so happy that you got to the end of the video and you've watched it all. I would love it if you like this video and if you subscribe to the channel, and also make a comment below. Tell me what you think. I really want to know. I really want to know. My next video, I believe, is going to be about what I eat during my window, and a big hint is that most of it is not processed food. So remember, we are leading edge baby boomers and we are not done yet.